Before we begin, make sure you subscribe, because I share powerful Bible stories every day, and today's story about Jezebel will shock you. Stay with me to the end, because what she did was so wicked, it will leave you speechless. Jezebel's story begins not in Israel, but in the land of Sidon. She was the daughter of Ethbaal, a king and priest of the false god Baal. From birth, Jezebel was raised in idolatry, sorcery, and wickedness. She was a woman of beauty, but behind her beauty was a heart full of manipulation and cruelty. It was this same Jezebel who was given in marriage to King Ahab, ruler of Israel. Ahab was supposed to lead his people to honor the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But instead of standing firm, Ahab opened his heart to Jezebel's influence. And from that day, Israel began to fall deeper into sin. Jezebel bewitched the heart of her husband. She whispered lies into his ears, turning him away from the God of Israel and leading him to worship Baal. Under her influence, Ahab built altars to Baal right in the land that God had given to his people. The Israelites, who once served the living God, began to bow to stone and wood. Jezebel's spirit of witchcraft spread like a shadow across the nation. But her wickedness did not stop at idolatry. Jezebel was a woman of blood. When the prophets of the Lord spoke against her abominations, she hunted them down and slaughtered them. She filled the land with fear and silenced the voices of truth. Only the prophet Elijah stood boldly, declaring that the God of heaven still reigned. Jezebel's cruelty grew darker. One day, King Ahab desired a vineyard that belonged to a man named Naboth. Naboth refused to sell his inheritance, because it was sacred land given by God. Ahab sulked like a child, but Jezebel stepped in with cold and deadly confidence. She plotted Naboth's death, arranging false witnesses to accuse him of cursing God and the king. Innocent Naboth was stoned to death, and his vineyard was taken. Do you see the wickedness? Jezebel was not just a queen, she was the very symbol of corruption, manipulation, and spiritual darkness. She twisted justice, bewitched the people, and drenched the land in blood. But hear this, God's judgment is never mocked. The prophet Elijah declared that dogs would one day eat the flesh of Jezebel, and that her name would become a curse in Israel. Though she painted her face and clothed herself in royalty, her end was filled with horror. When her enemies entered the city, she was thrown from a window, her blood splattered on the walls, and the dogs devoured her body, just as the word of the Lord had spoken. Stay to the end, and you see this truth. Jezebel's beauty could not save her, her power could not protect her, her witchcraft could not deliver her. In the end, wickedness leads only to destruction. The story of Jezebel is more than history, it is a warning. Beware of voices that pull you away from God. Beware of the spirit of Jezebel, that still seeks to corrupt, seduce, and destroy. And remember, no matter how dark the times become,